Compliant. So my husband's compliant. He's actually compliant steady. And compliant and steady people who are really focused on policies and rules and constraints. They have a great need to be right. So on our first wedding anniversary, I gave my husband a little pendant and said, "On this day, you were right." When he was in fourth grade, his fourth grade teacher said, "If Dave raises his hand, I will always call on him because Dave is always right. And if Dave doesn't know the information, he won't put up his hand." So it is important, if you are compliant, and Dave also has learnt these skills over time, to really be able to act when you don't always have the information at hand, and to be able to put your best foot forward and your best guess forward so people can move on that data. People who are compliant are very organised. Their greatest emotion that they lean into is actually fear, and the fear is, like I talked about with Dave, is getting things wrong. So it is important, if you're working with someone who's compliant, to give them the space to think things through. Again, if you're working with someone in this space, to really give them the instructions and what you're seeking from the outcome or the result, and then the time to process that and to work through and to give you the data that they'd like to give you. It is really important to, when you're in team meetings, again, to make sure that you provide this information to them before the team meetings if you'd like a decision to be made in that session. Compliant people and steady people are less likely to want to make quick decisions without thinking about all the information at hand. And that's really important, because we need people who can thrust ahead and make quick decisions and make decisions based on little information and a gut instinct, versus sometimes we really need to think through, okay, what's the right thing and the wrong thing to do? How do we work through this best? What's the data? What's it telling us? And to be able to make decisions in those different modes.